Here's my spoiler-free review of Superman. Incredible movie, great pacing from the beginning to end. To be honest, the only time I felt like I was losing interest and not being engaged in the movie was like in the third act during a fighting scene. Just to let you know how this movie kind of goes down. Incredible supporting cast. Superman himself is great. David Cornswell killed it. But I think what makes him unbelievably better is how good Lex Luthor is standing opposite of Superman. Like it really feels like he hates Superman. Lois and Superman's also great. Both as Clark and Superman, the great chemistry. To be honest, I think even the Daily Planet, the employees of the Daily Planet were all felt really right and in place. The Justice Gang also awesome. Crypto is awesome. Dog lovers are gonna really like this movie. I don't know what cat people are gonna think. Not to just be a glazing this whole time, is that I think there's a lot that this movie tries to do. It's a lot of moving plots, a lot of moving points. It's kind of hard to build stakes or like emotional feelings when it's like that. But regardless, the villains are badass. I don't want to give too much away without spoilers, but there's a lot of bad guys in this movie, so it's not like a case where you're deprived of villains. And the movie has a lot of heart. It's really good. It's really good. I need like 6 more of these movies ASAP. I give it an 8.5, 8.5 out of 10. Like as close as you could give it to a 9. And now, with that said, we'll go into spoilers. Props to James Gunn for deliberately, it feels like, showing us stuff in the trailers that it's either only in the very beginning of the movie or the very end. Sometimes I feel like a lot of these superhero movies lately in these studios, they'll come out with all the dopest scenes in the trailer just to get us in the theater. And then by the time we're watching the movie in the theater, there's nothing to really look forward to, which sucks. The timing for the movie seems unbelievably necessary too, between all the wars and political chaos and madness going on. It does feel like we're in a world right now, more than ever, where billionaires could do whatever they want. This is a good reminder that, at least in Superman's world, that shouldn't be the case. Incredible world building to that same note, too. So, you guys have been warned. I'm super excited for what's going to happen next. It truly feels like the Justice Gang is going to fail a couple more times before eventually, like, Jimmy Olsen or Batman or Superman come up with the name Justice League or something like that. The fact that there's this lore that's unexplored already as well too, that we're being dropped in the middle of a world that's already had superheroes for 3 centuries, I think it said at the beginning of the movie. It seems really fun. This might be the funnest DC movie ever. Funnest action, at least, in a DC movie. Like, to be honest, the creativity and innovativeness between the action scenes are really cool. Specifically the engineer, the villain, I think she's really cool. A lot of the things they do with her special effects is cool. And Crypto, even the way Crypto fights is in itself unique and it feels refreshing. And then on that same note, I cannot wait for Supergirl. Her being an alcoholic kid is, to me, a very fun angle as to how you could take that Supergirl movie and Superwoman movie. Because, to be honest, female Superman isn't appealing to me. It sounds kind of boring and lame. The few times it's been done in media before, comics, movie, TV shows, it's always just corny and doesn't, I don't know, it leaves me wanting more. So I think her kind of coming to grasp with, like, you know, womanhood and puberty, and then also being a superhuman or superwoman, you know, and then also having Jason Momoa's Lobo chasing after her, I think that's going to be really sick. I can't wait to see that next year. And one other thing I want to touch on too is that I'm really glad that James Gunn didn't do a wow cameo. Like, there was a moment where everybody online was wondering who Ultraman is and who's behind the mask of Ultraman, and I really thought it was going to be Henry Cavill for a little minute, to be honest. I'm glad it ends up being like David Cornswell. It ends up being like Ultraman himself, you know, Bizarro. I do hope they bring back this character as Bizarro, because Bizarro's supposed to be silly and dumb. So I think there could be a lot of fun with that. But either way, I'm glad that there wasn't like a big, oh, what the F moment for Ultraman or the ending. I really like the post-credit scenes. I'm happy that this guy, James Gunn, didn't, you know, cop out and try to do some plot advancing cliffhanger of, oh my God, Brainiac's coming or something corny. And like, he really made this movie about the characters, which is where I think DC failed before in the past. And I think Marvel's currently failing now. It's the original Marvel success was because they built Captain America, Iron Man, these names over, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of movies. And then it all culminated into Thanos 10, 15 years down the line. So I think this is a great first step in that direction. And I'm really excited to see what's next. I love Peacemaker. I love everything James Gunn's doing with the DC. And yeah, this is a good movie. Peace.